New York, home of handsome announcers with manly voices. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, Richard Lewis, musician Phil Collins, and another Calvin DeForest Pan-American Goodwill Tour update. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the world's most dangerous band. And now, the man they call the Iron Horse, David Letterman.
Hi there, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, is my face red. Alex, before you adjust the set, let me explain what happened. This afternoon, the manager at the fabric store where I do most of my shopping, and believe me when I say this, I'm not proud about this. The guy catches me wiping my nose on a piece of corduroy, and if it weren't an emergency, thank you very much. Wow. You ever see the show This Old House, Paul?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have.
You know what it is? These guys go in and take advantage of a foreclosure, and at really a reduced rate, PBS buys off some cheap property, and then they fix it up, and then they turn it over for a huge profit. and they make a TV show out of it, and I was watching it over the weekend, and I thought this was kind of unfortunate. Norm, now, is the master carpenter, and Bob Villa is the host. And they always want to check in with Norm to see how things are going in various parts of the house. Well, on this particular episode, there's a huge fight about measurements. Bob now thinks that Norm, the head carpenter, has mismeasured like a sink, like an opening for a sink. A huge fight breaks out, and Norm busts Bob's head open with a shovel. People at home timing that joke. Gosh. Geez, it wasn't funny, but I believe we have a new record. Yesterday, former President Richard Nixon said that Dan Quayle is not an intellectual midget, but Nixon added, with study, hard work, he could become one. Yeah. Whoa! What happened? You missed it. What are you looking at up there? Oh, it went over there. That's right. The band thinks something went up there. Oh, I know, Sid. I know what that problem is. I know. The 60s coming back. What do you think I got there, Sid? And then he was shooting flames. It just went.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christina Onassis' daughter, this little girl, I think has kind of a difficult life ahead of her, is now worth $1 billion. Little 3-year-old girl, $1 billion. And today Robin Givens went to court in an attempt to file adoption papers. So I don't... Guys, we got a good show. Richard Lewis is with us tonight, and of course, as you may have already determined on drums with our band this evening, Phil Collins. Nice to have you. Yes. Finally, after 7 years, we've timed that move perfectly.
Absolutely. It still hasn't gotten any smoother. I think Phil Collins is the highest paid guy that you're ever going to get to play a rim shot for a,
Well,
for a
we're happy
comedy-
to have him here.
for a comedy monologue. We're
How
thrilled
was,
to
how
have
was your weekend?
him. Yeah, it was exciting. I was grooving on the West Coast, as you know.
Now, what does that mean exactly? Grooving on the West Coast.
Well, I just go out there and I get a rented car and put the top down and I just groove. you
Sid,
know.
Sid, watch out. Here comes another one.
Oh, there he goes.
We're teasing Sid. I'm sorry.
He's having a flashback. How was your weekend?
I had a nice weekend. You know, I'm disappointed about something. Every year, we're at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, and then you go out one side of the building, there's this beautiful ice skating rink, and then you get to see the building that we work in, and every year the Rockefellers put up a huge Christmas tree, and they've been doing it now since, geez, I think since like 1860.
At least.
And every year it gets to be quite a tourist attraction, and it seems to me, they're assembling the tree out there now, this tree is no more than like 25 feet high. Do you remember, Paul, at one point when they would go all the way to a farm in Arizona and bring back like an 80-foot spruce? It gets better. But they would have enormous trees. The one, have you seen the one out there, Paul?
There used to be a huge tree at one time. I
and now
haven't seen this year's.
I have trees in my yard bigger than this
that.
thing. I think maybe the Rockefellers have suffered some reversals, is what I'm thinking.
Do you think?
And it's not actually a tree at all. What they do is they get I guess a phone pole, and then they get some branches. This is the absolute truth.
They stick the branches onto a phone pole?
Yes, it's not a
Come
complete
on.
tree. It's like a partial tree. It's in kit form. And then they decorate it, and it becomes a huge deal. Well, it's not that big a deal at all.
So I guess what you're saying is that there's...
Excuse me. Did I point out something Friday night? Did I mention that Vanna White is the goddess of love?
Someday, when Vanna White is the goddess of love.
All your fantasies come true.
I didn't know. Anyway, we got a great program for you. Richard Lewis is here, and Phil Collins is here. And a couple of weeks ago, we sent our own Calvert DeForest, the gifted actor who portrays Larry Bud Melman on this program, on the Calvert DeForest Pan-American Goodwill Tour. We loaded him into something called a Mallard. There's the Mallard right there. And he was going to drive from New York City, hopefully all the way to the southernmost tip of Argentina, down there at Tierra del Fuego. Bring in the map, boys. Bring in the Pan-American Goodwill Tour map. And periodically, we've been checking in with him to find out how things are going. And we understand they're at a crucial point of the trip tonight. They're just about to cross into Mexico from the town of Laredo in Texas. Paul, do we have music for this? Calvert, of course. All right. Thank you very much. Just about to cross the border, and they're staying at the, I guess they're at the Howard Johnson's rooftop restaurant named Windows on the Rio. Windows on the Rio, overlooking the Rio Grande River. Is this him on the phone here? I don't see anything blinking. Okay, that's it. Play the music, Paul. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. But he'll be calling in minutes from now. Did I mention, ladies and gentlemen, that for my money, Vanna White is the goddess of love?
Someday, when Vanna White is the goddess of love.
All your fantasies come true.
They started out here. Let me show you the itinerary. They started out here in New York. I don't know if you can see that red dot, but that's New York City right there. Actually, this is my place. And then they came down here. They went through Tennessee. We talked to them, I think, in Mississippi. And now they're in Texas. We talked to them in Houston a couple of days ago. Oh, my gosh, there they are, right there. All right, so this will be Calvert DeForest. Did I mention that he plays Larry Bud Melman on the show? Don't be alarmed by this. None of these have worked so far anyway. Is this him here? Hello, Calvert.
Yeah.
This is Dave. How are you?
Fine, Dave. How are you?
And where are you located tonight, Calvert?
We're in Laredo.
How is Laredo?
Very nice.
Why don't you send us a picture of yourself on this little device here?
Okay.
All right, we have one of these. What do they call these things? Picture phones. I have to be quiet while it's coming over? Picture phones. Picture phones. This would be a picture of Calvert DeForest. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Are you letting your beard grow, Calvert? Hello? 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 Oh my God, snipers. I can't hear him here. Calvert, are you there? I hear him screaming somewhere in the building. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll do the...
No, we're in a restaurant.
Oh. Now, what restaurant are you in there, Calvert?
Let's see. We're
look at the
in
mattress.
Windows on the Rio.
Windows on the Rio.
Uh-huh.
And are you overlooking the river?
Oh, yeah. Mexico's only 100 feet away.
When will you be crossing into Mexico?
Tomorrow.
Are you looking forward to this part of your journey?
Yeah, very exciting, Dave.
Do you speak any Spanish at all?
See, that's about it.
Well...
You think that would help?
No, I think you're just one big rolling target. Now,
Thank you, Dave.
Now, Calvert, do me a favor. Take the little picture phone and kind of show us the lovely view of the river there, can you?
Okay.
All right. Here it comes. Wow. So, Calvert, what we're looking at in the distance then is the land of Mexico. I can't hear him again. We can have one or the other. We can either have the phone or we can have this, but you can't combine audio and video, ladies and gentlemen. That technology is millions of years ahead of us. You can have radio, sure, and you can have TV, just the pictures. Put them together, no, you're tampering with the devil there. Hello? Hello? Okay, well, there's the most recent update for Calvert DeFort. Good luck and Godspeed, Calvert, if you can hear us. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, I get on another one. I think just about there is where all hell broke loose, ladies and gentlemen. When historians recount this debacle, that's what they'll signify. Let's do our top 10 list. Is that what we need to do now? The tree, actually, if you go outside after the show tonight, take a look at that tree. It's puny by any definition. The Rockefellers used to do this as a treat for all the kids in New York, and now they're laying low on that. What are we doing, top 10? Oh, did I just get here? Oh, this is good. Top 10 things overheard at the Quayle-Nixon debate. The meeting. Actually, there was no debate. It was not a debate. It'd be completely useless to have the two of them debate, wouldn't it? Top 10 things overheard at the Nixon-Quayle meeting. You know, they had lunch yesterday, Nixon and Quayle. Did you know that, Paul?
I understand they did, and I understand that there were 10 things that were said.
Well,
we are going to hear
more than 10. What we have here are the top 10
the
things.
top 10 things that were overheard at the meeting.
Thank you very much, Ed. So...
Everything you always...
Here we go. Top 10 things overheard at the Nixon-Quayle meeting. Number 10. Are you any relation to that Watergate guy? Number 9. Dan, the next 4 years are an ideal time to take up a musical instrument. Number 8. If the Speaker of the House asks you to pull his finger, don't. Number 7. Number 7. Wow, Mr. Nixon, and I thought I was a Neil Diamond fan. Number 6, we're at the bottom of the bottle. Who wants to eat the worm? Number 5. Now I get it, Mr. Nixon, the Vice President is to the President what Barney Rubble is to Fred Flintstone. Number 4, take it from me, Kissinger got more tail than Sinatra. Is she still on this line here? Okay. Number 3, we'll hold up a 7-Eleven. They'll think it's some kid and a guy in a Nixon mask. Hello? Not them at all. I think they've been kidnapped. Number 2, do you believe it's possible for two men to fall in love? I don't know what the hell that's doing there. And number 1, don't sweat it, Dan. Agnew was a jerk, too. We have, I think, a pretty good show for you here. Richard Lewis will be with us in a moment, and, of course, all night Phil Collins. So come on back, ladies and gentlemen.
Time. It is most precious. and so we cherish the moment, magnifying its memory. At Paul Masson, nothing is more important to a fine wine than time itself. That's why one thing has made Paul Masson not just acceptable, but exceptional, the taste of time. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
The officers and staff of Royal Caribbean Cruise Line invite you to join them for 7 days of absolute perfection. RSVP, your local travel agent. Don't just cruise the Caribbean, cruise the Royal Caribbean.
Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen, and Phil Collins. Paul, let me ask you something about these Calvert DeForest Pan American Goodwill Tour updates. We've done about 5 of them. None of them have ever really worked to our satisfaction. We thought it would be great fun to load them in this camper and drive them all the way to South America. And I understand that there's a great deal of bickering going on the trip. Calvert and the driver don't get along. And apparently there was a punch thrown over tuning the radio station. So should we just call the whole thing off or let them keep going?
I don't know. So far, we've done 5. None of them have worked.
None of them ever work, and
No.
tonight, technically, usually the technical aspect of it is up to par, but tonight, nothing. What do you think? Should we leave him out there on the road squirming, or... You people don't care, do you? That's what I thought. See, that's been the problem for the whole thing. Nobody cared that they were leaving. Nobody cared where they were going. Nobody cared if they ever came back, and we'll try one more, perhaps.
Excuse me, sir?
Never mind. Why don't you go sit with them? That's they're in the apathy seats. Okay, our next guest has been nominated for an ACE Award for his HBO special, I'm Exhausted, and will soon co-star with Jamie Lee Curtis in a new comedy series on another network. Please say hello to our good friend Richard Lewis. Richard. Richard Lewis, ladies and gentlemen.
What a band. What a unbelievable, huh?
How you doing?
Finally, there's like I never have like a great star guest musician. I usually get Bob Keeshan playing bass when I come in. So this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's great to be. I have to just jump on the Quail bandwagon. I was thinking about this on the plane. I know you're doing it all night, but hey, we're friends.
Of course we're friends.
Look, I'm a liberal. That L word. I'm sorry, but all I can say. Well, that's not it. The point is, in a strange, psychotic way, I'm worried about the first summit. I'm thinking about him with the entourage, meeting some psychotic, or maybe not psychotic, some head of state, and he's saying, Belgium, is there a king or a maitre d' of Belgium? You know, I worry about that, and that's it.
Are there psychotic heads of state?
There really are, but that's a whole other show.
Could you name more than one?
No, I can't. Must we do midterms
Well,
when
no,
I'm
I'm just thinking, perhaps Gaddafi? Would that
I'm
come
so
to mind?
nervous. You know what? The hotel, I've been on for 7 years.
Right.
My mother calls me, I swear, every time I'm on the show, I don't know how many times before. This time, she gave I have a cousin. I'll change his name, Waldo, okay? But trust me, it starts with a W. Trust me, it starts with a W. He's psychotic.
He's psychotic.
He's psychotic. And I just changed my number. I gave Waldo your new number. How could, and this is why I'm in psychotherapy, because she's nuts. My mother says, I gave Waldo your number, but listen, if he calls you, don't talk to him, he's crazy. So I don't, so now, because I know the guy visited me in L.A. And I'm like,
how old is Waldo?
I would say he's 45. And, when he came to visit me in L.A., I'm very quiet, I'm shy and scared.
Retiring? Sure.
Huh? Well, look, I'm paranoid about everybody, I have like a little rear view mirror on my stationary bike, so I'm like out of it,
Hey!
It was the first time you ever pointed to me when I did a joke. Is that a new thing? It's a new thing. I don't know, Dave. Look, I'm just frightened that Waldo visited me 6 months ago. I said, he's not going to do it. Waldo, I was like, I had a turban on. Not that I wear a turban, but And I said, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm in L.A. I figured. I said, how long are you going to stay? He said, well, I'll stay, I don't know, until the Messiah comes. You know, so he's in. You know what I mean? And he has a toupee. Look, I'm going to lose my hair. Everyone loses their hair, their teeth.
No, that's not true.
Well, most do. And I'm not knocking people with toupees, but he has a toupee that looks like a high school. It's an obvious toupee, like a high school curtain, like a puppet show is going to start.
Like a fire curtain, maybe?
It's almost like he has to hire like a little midget to pull the cord, you know, just to see while he's driving, you know what I mean? And he bought the toupee at, I don't know, at Flying Squirrels and Things, which was a dead giveaway.
Place on Melrose, probably.
On Melrose.
Yeah.
So he's coming out there, and I'm freaked out. But hey, as long as you have your help, you know that.
Oh, absolutely. So, but now you're back east for the holidays. That must make you feel good because you're originally from the area and you're
from Jersey, and I look. I'm an Easterner, but I made a little like a New Year's holiday kind of resolution.
A Thanksgiving resolution.
Well, Thanksgiving, because I only come back every 2 months. Like Thanksgiving, I was going to do a lot of reading, and it was a nightmare. It backfired. First of all, I was on the plane. I read that Goldman. I started to read that Lenin thing.
Albert Goldman thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, I threw it. I actually opened the door on the plane. The first time I ever opened the and I threw it. You know, he'll ruin everyone. I mean, Mother Teresa, The Other Side. I don't want to read it.
Could be nasty.
Very nasty. Then I read some of the things that were good, but I saw Les Mis, right? Les Miserables. But first of all, I wasn't that great in school. I didn't read the book, and I don't know. I'm not good with lyrics. Like even Purple Haze. That's my favorite song. I've heard it a million times. And to now, Purple Haze is in my brain. The next lyric to me, I want to move to Maine. I don't know the, you know. So I go to Les Mis, and I'm there with like these real bright people from Harvard. They have the Hugo book with them, and I'm drinking mimosas. I don't care about the Hugo book, you know. I go, I'm there with I'm there. I have a date there. As soon as the curtain opens, they start singing. They don't say hello.
The audience is singing?
No.
On stage.
Great play. The audience loved it. But I didn't know the book. I don't know history. And you know, I wanted to hear something like, hi, how are you? We're in the middle of a war. But it starts out, hello, and I went crazy. What, did he say struggle or we're having apple strudel? You know, I didn't know what he was saying.
You got to keep up.
No, you have to. Then I want to see all the movies, Last Temptation. They were heckling me because then they said, hey, we see you on Letterman, we're not going to watch you anymore because I went to see, look. I'll tell you right. Last Temptation. I went to see Last Temptation.
Oh, they're heckling you because you're going to see the movie.
Yeah, and they said, well, we know we're never going to watch you now. I said, look, I didn't see the film, and I said, and they hadn't seen the film. They didn't. I said, well, what's wrong with the movie? But they didn't even see the movie. They said, Jesus never visited Don Ho in Hawaii. I mean, they never saw it. Jesus never thought Wilt was better than Russell. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which upset. You know, I want to be religious, but you know, I read. You know, the Bible, quite frankly, threw me off a little bit because I want to believe the Bible like from the first page to the last page.
Sure.
But hey, with all due respect, okay, the Shroud of Turin. They found out, sadly. I was rooting for the Shroud of Turin. It's the Shroud of Cantor. It was Eddie Cantor's cardigan, yeah. Yeah, and then,
Cantor's cardigan.
Yeah, well, they found it in the trunk in the Paramount Theater. And then in the Bible, Noah's Ark, with all due respect,
right.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark.
You got to believe that to believe the whole thing. Noah, right? You know, Platypus Party at 2. Are you going to believe that? You know what I mean? So the movie, I love the movie.
Let me ask you one question about the way you're dressed, and then we'll go on to other things.
Look, I live for the show. Right. You know that.
I know. Are you doing close-up magic now? Have you started doing some card tricks?
Because of the black?
You're always dressed a little like a magician.
Really?
A little bit. You're all in black there.
I don't know. I like black. Right. I don't know.
Okay, that's quite nice.
I can't.
Oh, it's all right. Just relax.
It's retort a
verb.
No,
it's fine. Just relax.
I just spit on your forehead, and I apologize.
We have to go away. We'll be right back with Richard Lewis. Boys, Paul Schaefer, Phil Collins, and the band. Richard Lewis is with us this evening. So where were we? Tell me about your girlfriend. How's she doing? Did I ever meet your most recent girlfriend?
No, it's a little late now, Dave. I'm sorry to say.
Adios?
It's adios, you know, and I feel, you know, I'm 40, and I just...
How many serious relationships do you think you've had since you've been an adult?
I say 116, and not in a, you know, in a sexist way, since I was like 5, you know.
You've had a lot of important women in your life?
I'll never be a father like, you know, going to college, seeing his son, graduating. It's a sad thing
Well, no,
to say.
you could. What do you mean you never
I'll be
will?
111. It's like impossible. This was over. I knew it was over. Look, you know, when it starts to dip, it's just sad. You know, like, all the terms of endearment were gone. I was like, I couldn't, you know, even I tried, you know, when you kid around in bed, I called her breasts Curly and Mo. That was a joke. You know what I mean? And we would go to a Lakers game. We got, like, ejected for fighting, you know, and they're pulling us out. Forget about it. Look, I don't know what to say. We will, you know, we knew it was over. Yeah. You know, it was just, and, you know, dating now is like, I'm a hypochondriac. I think I've discussed this. It's no big news. It's frightening to date now. And my doctor says it's sort of, well, it's embarrassing. He says, because I'm susceptible to practically everything in the universe. Absolutely no phone sex, he told me, you know, so.
Didn't you once give yourself something? Didn't you tell me that?
I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Masturbation, I gave myself something once, which was sad. Well, you brought it up. Did I not bring it up? Didn't you bring it up?
Just doing what I have to do.
But, you know, this whole phone sex, these numbers, you know, I always feel that, you know, the women who are, or men, I don't know if men call too on the other, who knows, who cares at this point. But I'm sure that they're talking sexually, but I'm sure they're like making a beef goulash while they're doing it, you know. But I don't know, the whole thing, dating now, what do you do? You know, I need to wear, like, I've been in therapy in and out for 16 years. I'm out of it now. My shrink retired. In fact, it was so boring at the end. I actually, and she hated my problems too. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm out of it. She put a strobe light in for the last, so I could, like, boogaloo during my, you know, like, my father really upset me and my mother, you know, that kind of thing.
Make it a little more entertaining for both of you.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I should wear like a therapy choke chain so I don't repeat the problems.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I just wear like a collar with information. Do I know what it means? I don't know what it means either. Huh? No, like, in other words, like if I want to date, and I'll, you know, and I've made the same mistakes for like 20 years with women. And
People tend to do that. Patterns are set.
Exactly.
They keep repeating their problems, or and or again. They become their own worst enemies.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would have this like collar, and I would say, you know, you're just like my mother, you know, and I would pull, someone would jack it off stage. Not funny, just something I want to share, maybe a new thing I'll invent. You know what I mean?
I understand,
But sex, it was over. I mean, you know, I tried.
What does this woman do for a living?
An actress, you know, but very narcissistic.
That's
it's a problem.
Two people in the show business can be difficult.
Well, it's very narcissistic. She would say, look, I'm late for an appointment. Can you take a nap for me? You know, that kind of thing, which was frightening. So I'm out of that. So and sexually, when I went into the toilet, you know, I tried to kinky. I'm not a kinky person sexually. But I know you don't know this, but I'm just telling you.
We know that now.
But I was I really was desperately trying to save the relationship. But the best I could do was Willie Loman and the Stewardess, which was sort of a sad kind of thing. Which, you know, quite frankly, you know. So nothing worked. Nothing worked sexually, you know. And she put a lot of pressure, in bed.
Well, that's a mistake.
I don't want to have pressure while I make love.
No, of course you don't.
I don't want to hear a woman say, "Gentlemen, start your engines." No. You know what I mean? Right? And then the orgasm became like competitive. You know, like I have an orgasm, I go, "King me," you know.
I didn't realize you have your own television program coming up.
With Jamie Lee Curtis. Well, it's a couple of months from now.
When did this happen?
It happened about a couple of months ago. I don't call.
Well, what's the premise of the show?
We're just, you know, we're magazine writers in Chicago, and who knows? Look, I'm excited about it.
And when will it start on the air?
Mid-season, like after the New Year.
Oh,
and Happy New Year to you.
Well, I hope it's a big success. And if it is a huge hit, will you still come back and see us?
Like I don't live for the show?
Oh. Please. It's very nice of you. Richard Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. We got to do station identification.
Later tonight, meet the most country.
How do they know how to do that? How do you guys know how to play the drums identically together like that? Do all drummers know how to do that? It wasn't identical. Well, it sounded
Pure luck.
Well, it sounded very impressive. Sid. Coming up in this half hour, Phil Collins will be here. What are we going to hear, Paul, with you and Phil?
We're going to hear Phil's latest release, entitled Two Hearts.
From the motion picture.
From the motion picture of the same.
Tomorrow on the program, John Lovitz from Saturday Night Live will be here. Also, musician Bob Skaggs will be joining us. I think that should be Boz. Bob Skaggs. Originally, that was his name, Bob Skaggs.
It was originally,
Boz. And also Candace Bergen.
Oh.
Candace Bergen, who's married to
Louis Mall.
Monty Hall. Oh, Louis Mall. A couple of months ago, you know Chris Elliott, Paul.
I
He's
know
got
him very well.
lovely brand new baby girl. Well, not so brand new now. She's at least 15 months. And a couple of weeks ago, Chris brought her in. Gosh, what a charmer. But that particular night, she was a little cranky and threw a minor fit. But I understand she's back tonight with Chris, her father. Hal, is Chris out there with his daughter, Abigail?
He's out there now.
Oh, he's out there now. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see the baby? She's just a cutie. I'll be right back. How do you do? Friends of the groom? No, good for you. Thank you. Chris, where is Chris? Hi, have you seen... hi, Chris. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
And how's the baby?
She's doing pretty good.
And how old is she now?
She's 17 months.
And does she do anything now that she wasn't doing when she was here?
She's actually making some noises that sound like words.
Yeah.
She's talking a little bit.
Would it be all right if we took a look at her now? Sure. Okay. Hi, Abby. It's Dave Letterman. Hi. Hi. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Wow. Abby, my gosh, you really are talking. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, Chris picked me up one of those see and say things, you know, where you pull the string.
Yeah.
The whole deal. I think they're made by Mattel or Toshiba. I'm not sure which.
Well, whatever. I am really very impressed.
Yeah, great. Hey, listen. While I got you here, let me ask you this. Do you know a guy named Rick Williams? Rick Williams?
Gee, no, I don't think I do, Abigail.
Doesn't ring a bell?
No, it doesn't.
He stopped me on the street. He said to say hi to you. It must be a nut.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah.
Come on, Dad. We got to get going.
Oh, where are you two going?
We're going to go see Mystic Pizza.
Oh, gee, I hear that's pretty good.
Hey, let me ask you something about that. Is Demi Moore in Mystic Pizza?
Demi Moore? No, I don't think so. No.
See, I knew she wasn't, and Chris still says she is. I knew the fat ass was wrong. Yeah. Come on, let's go.
Okay, well, goodbye, Abby.
Okay, bye, Dave. Good seeing you again.
That's amazing. That's amazing. She looks a little like your wife. What? She looks more and more like your wife.
Yeah, she is. She is. She favors my wife.
Oh, good. She's a very lucky girl.
Yeah.
We'll do a commercial now. Do a commercial now.
Sounds good.
I'm going to be right back.
Oh, God, back. Gotta get a... We should get a different mattress. Like a Sealy Posturepedic, because back is killing me.
Our next guest is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, musician, performer, and also actor. His first film, entitled Buster, opens tomorrow all across the country. Huh? What? What? You kids, with all this drumming, I can't hear a thing.
Oh, for a minute.
What is the problem?
Okay.
Okay. Singing a song now he wrote from the film. Please welcome back to this program. We all set? Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Collins. Yeah. Phil, very impressive. Geez, that sounded nice.
Thank you, David.
We're going to do a commercial. We'll be right back with Phil Collins. Come on over, have a seat. Phil Collins is here. I can't thank you enough for joining the band all night, and the song sounded terrific.
It's the only practice I get, actually.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you very
Great.
much.
No.
Now, the movie, Buster, this is a big hit in Europe.
It is, yeah. It's done very well in England, and
Yeah.
it's just come out in the rest of Europe.
Now, is this your first starring motion picture role as an adult? First starring motion picture role, period?
Well, apart from those films we can't talk about.
No, but you know what I'm saying. You, as a kid, you were an actor in big films, right?
Well, I was in big films, but you never saw me.
What films are we talking about?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang I was in.
You know, I have that at home. I'll look.
Yeah. Actually, what happened, well, I had a cyst on the side of my head.
Okay.
And I had a big white bandage, and I think the director said, whoa, 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 what's that kid doing there with a... Out! So I'm on the cutting room floor with that one.
Anyway, this brings me to my question and/or observation. If you transfer successfully, which you've already done, from the world of rock and roll, where you were a huge star, still a huge star, to becoming a huge star in motion pictures, has that been done very often by others in the past?
Well, it's been done, but I mean, Sinatra and Crosby were doing it years and years ago.
But rock and roll, I guess Elvis Presley comes to mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
less successfully, some say.
Yeah.
Cher's done it very well. Barbra Streisand's done it very well.
Yeah, but not strictly speaking rock and roll.
No.
At any rate...
In other words, no, then.
Yeah, so you... Well, congratulations.
Is that the answer you're looking for?
You have a shot at being the first.
No, I think people like Bowie and Sting have the right intentions.
They've given it a shot, haven't they? Yeah. So tell us about the film.
Well, I play Buster Edwards, who was one of 17 robbers who robbed Her Majesty's Royal Mail train in 1963 of £2.5 million, which is now about $20 million, I guess. And him and Bruce Reynolds, another character, were the two main sort of instigators of the robbery, and they went on the run for 3 or 4 years, and they became kind of folk heroes, really, in England, because all the other guys got 30-year sentences. At
the time when this happened, were the people of Great Britain behind them, or were they against them?
Well, yeah, they were kind of behind them, because it was pretty much a non-violent crime, and it was...
But you said 20 million in American dollars?
That would have been now, you know, if the same thing happened now. But what happened when they caught a lot of the robbers, you see, and they gave them 30-year sentences. And at the time, even now, that's a long time for just robbing a train, anyway. Whereas you get 15 to 20 if you kill someone. And that's...
They were trying to make an example of these guys, right?
That's right, yeah.
So Buster, your character, what did he do? He took off, right? He left...
He was in England for about 1.5 years, and then they started closing in, and him and his wife, June, went off to Mexico. And really, the film traces... It's not about the Crate train robbery. In fact, it starts off with that, but really the film traces the relationship with Buster and his wife, June, who...
It's a love story, eh?
It is, yeah. And they've been together 35 years, and they're still together now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he eventually comes back, or am I giving away too much of the... Well, everybody knows the story, I guess.
Yes, I mean, she came back from Mexico, his wife, because she couldn't stand it, and he followed her back to give himself up.
Yeah.
So it's actually, it is a love story.
And they're alive today, and still, what do they do now?
Still together. He runs a flower stall outside Waterloo Station in London, has done for 13 years, and he's a very outward-going person. Well, Londoners feel like they know him. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Has he ever written a book about this, or does he go on television shows and discuss it, or...?
Well, he's been on, radio. I by chance turned the radio on one day when I was in the car, and they were asking him about the price of roses on Valentine's Day. And I'd never heard the man talk before, and I was about to play him. And I've since met him and become great pals with him, but at the time it was like, whoa, this is what he sounds like. And
well, let's take a look at this. We have some footage here from the film Buster. Well, you know what we're going to take a look at here?
Yes. Well, this is when they're happy, basically. I mean, they just after this...
After they fled the country.
Yeah, just after... No, this is before they fled the country.
Before they flee the country. All right, this is Phil Collins and Julie Walters.
Julie Walters, wonderful.
Here we are, here. Where'd you think you are?
Akbar, old son, Akbar. Towards the guns. Charge!
Lorenz, my hero.
We have been without water for 10 days. We have struggled across 200 miles of desert to bring you this message.
Oh, yeah? What message is that, then?
Well, my faithful servant June has it about our person.
Have this here, Lorenz.
It says, 2 cotton chips and heavy on the vinegar, please.
It's a funny little clip to show out of context because it's me basically playing Peter O'Toole, having just seen Lawrence of Arabia, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I see. There you go. That explains it perfectly.
You see?
But see, that's the problem with clips generally is it's always out of context. Yeah. But I think it gives people an example of what they're in for when they go to see the film.
After that, we take both our clothes off. And,
huh? What?
No, it's not that kind of film.
Tell me about the big Prince Charles 40th birthday party. Is that something you enjoy going to, or you think, no, it's an invitation, I'd better go?
As Billy Connolly says, I was commanded to go. No, basically, he asked, we went to, I do a lot of these things because I'm involved in his charity. And he asked me at a Michael Jackson concert. We were sitting there watching Michael Jackson, and he turned around and said, oh, this is the kind of group I'd like at my party. So I said...
He just says that to no one in particular, or to you, like...
Well, no, because he asked me if I'd get the entertainment together, you see. So, anyway, so I don't think we can get Michael Jackson, sir, but I'll try to get some bands together. So anyway, I chose this group to play at this party, and I played half an hour of my song. And it was a very enjoyable evening. I mean, it's Buckingham Palace, and it's wall-to-wall kings and queens. I mean, there's people there, you know, you walk past them, and, well, they asked, a couple of people asked for autographs, and I didn't know who they were, and later I found out it was the King of Spain or something.
King of Spain is asking for an autograph?
Yeah,
well, see, now that's the kind of thing that doesn't happen here in the commissary. But
I don't know these people. I don't want everyone to say, oh, Phil's gone royal. You know, I don't know these people. Yeah. I come into contact with
But
Charles
overall,
and
it's an enjoyable experience.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't miss it. So you have to go.
We got to do a commercial? All right. Because if I were invited to the White House, like there's a chance in hell of that happening, I don't know whether I would even go. I'd feel so uncomfortable, I might just sit in the car. All right, we got to go. We'll be right back. Okay, thank you very much for being here, Phil.
Yo!
Tomorrow on the program, we will have Bob Skaggs, John Lovitz, and Candace Bergen, over whom I will be making a fool of myself. We'll see you then. Thank you very much, folks. Good night.